Welcome ladies and gentlefolk, it's me, DRBC 007 here to talk to you about Battlefield 5 and the ongoing fiasco that is its live service, rollout, launch, everything. Really, it's just a shambles, isn't it just? I would usually go off on a bit of a tangent here and a rant and a rave. I'm not really going to do that. I just wanted to open up a little bit of dialogue and give you my honest thoughts about what's going on. There's loads of people out there that can tell you exactly what the stats are. I'm not going to bore you with the numbers. I'm just going to give you a little bit of my opinion. Okay? Cool. Also, give me your opinion down in the comments down below. Please tell me what you think. This is something that really needs dialogue. It's a big change, and I think it just goes against everything that Battlefield 5 was trying to do. So if you don't know, the time to kill, or the TTK, has actually been pretty good, and I think most of the community, or the vocal core community, have been fine with it. The time to death, on the other hand, has been pretty shit. Now lots of people wanted that to be looked at, but apparently DICE have looked at some feedback, or have heard the majority, apparently, of the community's feedback, and have decided to revert the TTK, the time to kill, back to BF1 levels. Why, I have no idea. Absolutely none. From all the content creators, the game changers, general fans, subs, you guys, no one seemed that fussed about the time to kill. Yes, it was different. Yes, it took a little bit of time to get used to. But that's fine. It's a different game. It's a different title. I think the real issue here lies with the fact that Battlefield has gone through a transition, and the devs, they were trying to build a game that was more tactical, more skill based, and they built a brand new gunplay from the bottom up. You know, that's what their focus was, to build this new experience, and it all centers around the gunplay and the time to kill and the skill levels of the weapons. Now if you change that, everything else just turns to dust around it. You might not like it. Some of the new players might not like it. Some of the old players might not like it. Maybe they thought it was too fast. Maybe they thought it was too hard. Maybe they thought it rewarded skill a little bit too much, and they wanted a bit of an easier experience for all. Now I can still see both sides of that argument. BF1 was successful because it appealed to lots of different people. You get the people with high skill who would still be able to sort of reign supreme on the battlefield, but it was more forgiving for, I don't know, the rest of the layman's of the gaming world. Okay? And that's fine. It's fine for that to happen. But this was not going to be that game, and they've built that game around that gunplay, and to change it, and not to sort of put it into the community test environment, which apparently isn't a thing anymore, not to put it into just a single test server. No, they've just rolled it out, steamrolled it out. Why? You've got to ask those questions. You've got to ask those questions, because it's not something that most people wanted. If you're asking me, my honest opinion is that actually DICE, the developers, probably didn't want to do this. But they're shocking sales, and they are shocking everybody. You can't defend it. They are not good. The shocking sales, the fact that 2 weeks after its full launch, the game was dropped in price drastically, has to signal people upstairs that something's not right. So they've come in and they've gone, well, what's so completely different from the first game? From Battlefield 1 to this game. What's different, people? We need answers. And they've gone, well, we changed the time to kill, that's it, yep, revert it back. We need it to be more forgiving for players so they can react, and we can bring in new players, and all those people from BF1 can come back and they can feel like they can do the game again. Instead of relying on gamers who are very resilient to actually learn the new mechanics of the game, they've just reverted it back. And I think it's a terrible idea. A lot of people, they'll play the game, they'll say, oh, I don't really notice it. But believe me, one bullet more, a few seconds more, especially around a system with attrition so heavily ingrained in the gameplay as well, is just, it's just so crap. It's so crap. I have mained Medic from day one. It was hard, and it is the least fun I've ever played with Medic since any Battlefield title. It's not fun. It's not fun because the medics are pushed into a very close quarters fighting position, and they're given shitty pea shooter guns that do not very much damage, even in the close quarters combat area, and that sucks because if you've watched any of my videos and you've watched any of my BF1 stuff, you'll know that I love up close and personal. Those guns, they don't work. I've got more hipfire kills from an MMG than I have done from a Thompson submachine gun. Now it's even worse. It's so bad. The challenges, the live service, all of the controversies around gender inclusivity and all that stuff, every step of the way since the launch, since the reveal, has been a bit shocking. And I just think this is like, I don't know, developers, the publisher scratching their head and looking desperately and going, whoa, what can we do, what can we do, what can we do? Yeah, let's change that. Yeah, you think that's going to work? No, I don't really think it's going to work. Let's just change it and see. I just don't think it's a good idea, and I think most people think it's not a good idea. And when you have, as I've said, and as probably loads of other YouTubers will say, a core system designed around its gunplay, around the time to kill, around attrition, where each bullet matters, to change it, and just to even slightly change it, and make it longer to kill. 2v1s, forget it. You flank somebody, you're more likely to get killed by a second person even before you've killed the first person now. And you might say, well, if they've got a longer time to react, so should you. Technically, you'd be correct. But it doesn't work that way. I don't think anybody that played Battlefield 5 from the get-go, even from the early access, ever had a problem with the time to kill. Yep, it's a little bit trickier. Yep, you need to play a little bit more time. Yes, you may need to just play with the weapon a bit more to really understand how it feels. But believe me, it's not that big a change. I don't know where this has come from. And in my opinion, I think it's the wrong thing to do. I, like many others, desperately want to love and support this title. Battlefield, over the last 2 years, especially for my YouTube, has been such a boon. It's been a fantastic title to build content around. It's been absolutely amazing to play with community members, subs, followers on Twitter, to get into a game and to have that quintessential Battlefield experience. I was put off by lots of stuff. I've been critical since the launch, especially with the attitude of maybe some of the developers or some of the decisions that EA, I think, probably more so, have taken. And I've persevered, like others, and the gameplay itself is actually pretty bloody good. It's just the stuff around it. The live service, the bugs, not being able to put down medical crates, all these little things, company coins, the level cap. So much stuff came out broken, and every time you see YouTubers and content creators defending the title and saying it's okay, they'll get there, we'll keep going, this is good, and then they come and they do this. And they change the core fundamentals of what this title should be. It is just a really bad decision, and it's quite quickly turning me away from Battlefield. Now, I'm sure I'm not going to drop off the edge of the radar, I'm not going to stop making content on the game, I'm not going to stop playing it, but it feels more like a chore. Yesterday I logged in, and I finally got, was it the VGO machine gun? Just in the final hour of the Tides of War chapter before it changed. Now, the reason I couldn't get it was because for 5 days a stationary weapon kill did not count. Thankfully it did. But that was a chore, that wasn't fun. No part of that was fun. It was just frustrating. And with this new change, I'm trying to unlock the gold Thompson submachine gun. Ah, no. I literally played 3 hours yesterday, and it was just not fun. Assault is the only real competitive class. It has weapons that can do damage up close and also at distance. It has explosives and maybe support as well. I don't play a great deal of recon. It's good, obviously. Loads of people play it, but for me, those two, medic is kind of useless. And I think the more this goes on, and the longer they leave the time to kill unchanged, you will see that medics drop away. Yes, they might be playing now, but when it becomes unfun, there's only so long you'll continue to persevere with a specific class until you just say, I can't be arsed with this. I'd rather get shot and die and get revived by someone on my squad, I don't know, a support, go to find a medic station and pick up a medic pouch, than actually play as a medic class. Because although it's incredibly powerful and it really changes the battlefield, you don't do a great deal more than revive teammates and throw bandages, and that loop is pretty boring already. Alright, this is my opinion. I sound a bit down, I just feel frustrated, I think. I think a lot of people feel frustrated. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below, because this is really important. Feedback is also super important, and there will be a link in the description where you can drop your feedback to DICE and EA around this. If you love it, tell me why. You know, I'm open to this, and maybe I'm looking through it with blinkered vision, I don't know. Maybe some rose-tinted spectacles for what the original Battlefield vision should have been for this title, but in my opinion it's the wrong choice. It came out of nowhere. There was almost no feedback. It seems incredibly reactionary. It doesn't seem like it's come from the people that actually designed this game. Because if it was, why would they change it? They got it. They nailed it. They nailed it. And that was the best part of the game. Anyway, DRBC 007 signing off.